Oh, hey there. If you feel overwhelmed by the chaos going around globally, there's a reason for it, but it's not what you think. I'm gonna explain that right after this. So hear me out. The world isn't falling apart. Its old systems are dissolving. What looks like chaos is actually just the clearing of old systems, old beliefs, and old energies that cannot come with us in the next stage of human evolution. Think about it. Oh, God. In order for the dark to be transitioned out, the light has to be shown on it. So what can seem like is actually the worst of times can actually be looked at as the best of times. Because in order for the old dark energy to be dissolved, the light has to be shown on it. And that light is being shown on it like never before. And this is the stage of our evolution. This is where we take back our power, we become our authentic selves, and we express it out to the world unconditionally, fearless of what others will persecute us for, how they'll judge us, or anything of that nature. It's time for us to rise up and be who we were meant to be as a species. And I'm gonna get into that right after this. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I am Maxwell Miller, your beloved host, and welcome back to another video. And if you're new here, welcome. I am so excited that you're here. There's a lot to talk about, you know, and we're just in this beautiful, beautiful lake surrounded by mountains, and oh, there's just so much grace, so much blessings out here. Thanks for being with me on this journey, guys. Now listen, awakening, you know, it could be a very messy thing. And just like in our personal lives, when it's, you know, awakening can be very super duper messy. Awakening can feel pretty scary sometimes, but you know, it doesn't always have to be, although it almost always is chaotic. And so as we see that globally, the earth is going to mirror that on a massive scale. Everything that we have been suppressing and pushing down emotionally in our own lives, that's all gonna start bubbling up to the surface, people. And let me tell you, it's a good thing. And that's why it's important to have grace with yourselves, patience with yourselves, because it will start bubbling up. I mentioned a couple videos ago that I've been feeling like pretty frisky, kind of like on the verge of just like kind of snapping sometimes, a little bit snippy snappy. And for me, that's evolution. But an old version of me, I can remember, used to get mad at himself in those times, thinking that I was going backwards for feeling negative when I've been doing all this work for myself and feel like I've been meditating and applying teachings and, you know, applying new belief systems. And now I'm like, dude, that's a good sign. I'm feeling things bubbling up to the surface so that then I can actually deal with them. Instead of just putting them off or suppressing them, I can deal with them. And my suggestion and my offering to you guys is to do the same, because there's no room for suppression anymore. There's only room for expression. And these are the times. There's so much to be grateful for. There's so much to be excited about. There's just a lot life has to offer us. And the more that we ground ourselves in these times, as chaotic as they can seem, as messy as they can seem, as scary as they can seem, because there's so much unknown and there's so much technological growth so quickly. And there's a lot of people who are angry, who are frustrated, who are deceptive, who are ornery. And we have to be patient with them as well. And we have to give them grace as well. And we have to be patient with the unfolding. As it unfolds in the natural world, it's also going to unfold within ourselves. And let me tell you a little secret. The faster that we unravel ourselves to all the belief systems that we've been pushing away, not wanting to deal with because we feel scared of them, or we feel bad or angry with ourselves, about because, we're too spiritual for that. We shouldn't be feeling angry. We shouldn't be feeling our human emotions, right? We're way too spiritual for that. Don't get caught in that. I've been caught in that many times. Sometimes I have felt like, in a memory of my past self, that I'm not spiritual enough if I'm going through emotional times, if I'm not always peaceful, if I'm not always feeling completely content and happy. And that means I'm not being a human. It means I'm not enjoying the contrast of this life. You know what I'm saying? So the quicker that we can let go of those emotions, of those traumas, those triggers, those old versions of ourselves that no longer suit us, the faster the world is going to reflect its change to us. Because we're all the creators of our own realities, and we all live in our own reality bubble. So that means, yes, there's collective agreements where you see and interact with other humans, but they're not actually there in the way that you think. You're creating your version of them. They're not creating their version of them for you to experience. You are creating your version of them for them to experience. And that's a tough pill to swallow, and that has to do with physics. And there's a teacher named Bashar, who's channeled by Daryl Anka, who says that we are shifting billions of frames, billions of times per second from parallel Earth to parallel Earth, from parallel reality to parallel reality, which means to parallel self to parallel self. And so every opportunity, every moment is an opportunity to change. And when we do make that change in ourselves, it may not immediately always reflect in our outside experience, the change that we've made within ourselves. But the key is, if we are reacting and responding differently to what's already manifested in our lives, not getting pissed off about it, not getting frustrated by it, not feeling like we're stuck, not feeling like we're not doing good enough or working hard enough, but feeling like we're doing everything the way that we're meant to do it, which is just to do our best. If we know that and we're doing our best and we have put ourselves first and we're making the changes, it is inevitable that the outside world will change to reflect what we have changed inside of us. So don't get frustrated, don't get anxious if it doesn't happen right away according to how you think it should happen or the timing that you think it should happen. You gotta just let it flow, let go and let flow, and just be still. Just be still, like how still this water in this lake is right now. Just be still and know that you are God. Be still and know that you are God. And those things will start coming to you, and it'll seem a lot less chaotic in your life because you'll be the eye of the storm. And then you'll be seeing everything going on around you that may seem chaotic. There may be chaotic people in your life, your friends, your families, your teachers. You may see it in the media. That may all be super chaotic, and that may actually be happening in the reality. But it's not actually happening in your reality because you're in the eye of the storm, you're in control, and you could be absolutely peaceful and grounded and stable as the shifts that are necessary to this next human stage of evolution that we're going through occur. And you can watch it happen joyfully with your popcorn in hand. So the increase in global tension is also an increase in global awareness. So think of it this way. When the light is turned on, you're gonna see everything that's going on, including the shadows, including the darkness that's going around. You can see my shadow right now, can't you? It's everywhere. The light, there's nothing but sunlight out here right now. But you, get back on me, you camera, are seeing the light. You are seeing the shadows as well as the light. So just as I was saying before, as we start to shine our light and shine the light upon everything on this planet that has been in the dark, all the negativity that's been going on, way before even our time. I was born in '93, way before then. Pretty much every bit of time that's led up until now. We're finally shining the light on that, and with our digital media, we see all of it. But it's not the worst of times just because we see all of it. That is the best of times. Now we can see all of it, and we can transition it into the light and let it go and deal with it the way that we need to. And that is what a true global awakening looks like. So continue to do that while you continue to awaken within yourself by going inside, expressing yourself, being yourself, and finding a way to be as peaceful and joyful in your day as possible. And you will see how quickly the world around us starts to shift according to the change that we made in ourselves. We change ourselves first, and then the outside reflects that change, not the other way around. This timeline that we're all experiencing together right now collectively, it speeds up what's unresolved. So if you have been not dealing with something within yourself, whatever you've suppressed, that shit's gonna get amplified a lot. Not as punishment, but as a fast track to your healing. So what I suggest is that you get out of your own way, you take a deep breath, you do some breathing exercises. I totally suggest meditation every morning for 15 minutes. Just quiet your mind, let everything go to start your day. I also recommend you call your friends, you call your family, you enjoy nature more often. You make those phone calls that you haven't made, that you've been meaning to make, to heal that relationship that has been bogging you down out of guilt, out of shame, out of just simply being unresolved with maybe your old best friend, with maybe an ex, maybe your mother, maybe your father, maybe your grandparents, maybe a former teacher, whoever it might be. It's time that we go within and we resolve the things that we need to resolve within us and in our relationships and circumstances in our lives. We got to get tidied up. We got to start cleaning up our vibration. We got to start cleaning up our lives. No more grudge holding. No more just waiting for things to come to us and waiting for people to forgive us or waiting for that phone call from other people to ask for forgiveness. We need to make those phone calls and initiate those circumstances and initiate those scenes in our lives that we're playing out. We need to be the initiators so that we can let it go and move on with our lives. And so that the other person in your life can also let it go because they're just too afraid to reach out to you. I'm talking to you right now. If you have been waiting to make that phone call to an old friend, an old family member, whoever it might be, because you feel like you deserve to be apologized to, just flip it around. Let's just drop our egos right now, together. Reach out to that person and forgive them. It's time. No more carrying around old baggage. We got to let it all go because all it's going to do is keep resurfacing and keep resurfacing and keep resurfacing until we actually deal with it. And we don't have to torture ourselves by having things resurface so consistently all the time and then regretting the fact that we didn't do what we thought we should have done when it resurfaced, and then we guilt ourselves and then we spiral downward. We need to start taking the actions that we've been afraid to take, whatever that might be in your life. We need to start taking them right now and take responsibility for our lives so that we're not on the sidelines of life anymore. We're at the helm steering the ship. So another point that I want to make is that your biology was not meant to take this overstimulation that we're dealing with. And being overstimulated doesn't mean or equal to spiritual failure. It's literally just our biology yelling at us saying, hey, we need to wake up, we need to take care of ourselves, we need to go in, and we need to just take a step back. And by taking a step back, I mean, we stop pushing so hard. We stop forcing ourselves to do things that we don't want to. We stop forcing ourselves to feel a certain emotion consistently and not allowing our emotions to be a never-ending flow of grace and learning, because our emotions teach us things. They teach us what we like, what we don't like. The contrast of life is something to be explored and appreciated. And if we're pushing those things away that we don't like and forcing our things through instead of looking at them, just recognizing, hey, I don't prefer this, I don't like this, and then letting that go and then moving on and taking a step back and just going within and doing what you need to do to center yourself while all this chaos is going on all around us, then it's going to be a very uphill, upstream battle where you're paddling upstream and not letting the stream just naturally take you downstream. Just take up the oars, just put them in your raft and let the stream naturally take you down the road, the stream, the pathway that you are meant to go. Our nervous systems were not literally meant to take on all the information that we are now in this age. I mean, so many of us were born into this. I was born in the early 90s where it had a slow build a little bit. But all the people, all of you who are listening to this, who have either been in the old energy, maybe you're a little bit older and you were born in the 60s, 70s, 80s, or maybe you're like me, you're a millennial in the 90s, or maybe you're Gen Z in the early 2000s, whatever the case may be, so many of us are dealing with this constant barrage of information, and we're not meant to take all that in. So we got to take a step back from technology a little bit. I'm not saying that it's totally bad. There's so much good from AI and the technology that's coming out that is going to boost our world in a way that is unbelievable. But there has to be a balance, and there's such an imbalance right now with how we are consuming information, and it is just riddling ourselves to the bone with stress and with like spiritual upheaval, because we see all these things that we were never meant to take in. We're not meant to take all of this stuff in at once, every single day, every single minute. It's time to take a step back. I offer to you from technology a little bit, get out a little bit more in nature, take a walk your dog, call who you need to call, be with who you need to be with, and just step away, man. We got to start having dinner without our cell phones. All of those things, we have to let those things go, because that's the only way that we're going to find ourselves and ground ourselves again enough to where we can actually use technology in a mature way. And many of us are not using it in a mature way. And I say that for myself. I have done the doom scrolling. I have gone into and been sucked into the craziest of rabbit holes, and it's not healthy. And I've never felt good after it. Has anyone ever felt good after doom scrolling for an hour or 2 hours, or however long, or all day, or every single time that you're in between a scenario when you're waiting for something, you pull out your phone right away because you have to have that constant stimulation, and you can't just sit there and take a breath and look around you and appreciate life and appreciate yourself for where you're at and where you're going and where life is going? Let's take a step back from the technology for a little bit. These are certain steps that I really believe that we need to take in these days to come, in these years to come. The stability that we create within ourselves from taking that step back from technology, from taking a step back from forcing ourselves and work, and nothing else but achievement, taking a step back, that stability, when we actually do take that step back, is going to ripple out into the collective. When we are being ourselves and being the highest level of vibration, the highest level of peace and contentment and joy and happiness and contentment within ourselves and loving ourselves, that energy, that vibration, because we are literally antennas, that ripples out to the collective, and it helps everybody. It helps so many people that you don't even realize that it helps. Because when you're in that calm state of being, as you're going to the grocery store, as you're walking down the street, or doing whatever mundane things you might be doing in your life, people are going to not realize that they are taking it in, but they are taking it in. And someone that you might not even know might be touched, or might look at you as the leader of example that you are and that I am, and say, man, that person just seems like he's really calm, or she's really calm and enjoying herself and enjoying her life. Maybe I should try to do that a little bit more too. These times are for softness, not seriousness. I said this in my last video. If you haven't checked out my last video, go give it a look, because it's all about if you're taking yourself and life too seriously. And I say a lot of really amazing things that I really think are going to help you guys, or at least give you an opportunity to take a little nugget from it and apply it to your life. We have to enjoy ourselves more. We have to laugh a little more, smile a little bit more, enjoy ourselves, have fun, be children once again. That energy is going to loosen up everything that's going on around us, because if we're taking it all so seriously and we feel so tight and condensed and just stiff, then every little thing, everything that upsets you in the media, everything that upsets you that you see in the world, all that chaos, and if you're in that stiffness, if you're just in that state of being, of just feeling stiff and like a board, it's going to amplify everything that's going on, and you're going to think it's so terrible, and it's going to really start to affect you in a way that you are not meant to be affected, and you don't need to be affected, because again, you could be in that eye of the storm and just allow yourself to see it on the outside when you are in that calm, loose, soft state of being. So please loosen up on yourself, soften up, and be more playful, laugh more. Also, don't forget that you chose to be here and incarnate at this time. Your soul knew what was bound to happen in this lifetime when it chose to incarnate. So everything that you're experiencing, every challenge, every relationship, every triumph, all of it, you chose to experience it and walk down this hallway that is your destiny, but you can shape your destiny in any way that you want to shape it into. It's not some predetermined thing. There's just this destiny of this hallway that you decided to walk down, which is this timing and this culture and this family that you were born into. You wanted to be a part of this shift. And so be good to yourselves, be patient with yourselves, take a deep breath, love yourselves through it all. There's going to be so much to look forward to. That's the main message behind this whole video, is that through all this chaos, through everything that we're going through all this going on in the world, there's going to be so much good that comes from it. It just doesn't always look like that. But when we are stable and steady and loving ourselves and patient with others and patient with ourselves and give ourselves grace and give others grace, we're going to experience such an amazing timeline, such an amazing life, and we're going to be able to reap all of the benefits of what's to come for our lives. It only gets better and better and better. And so take it easy. Don't get caught up in it. It's time to become the full version of ourselves so that we are ready for all of the changes that are truly upon us. We think things have gone fast in the past 10 or 20 years. It's about to go 100 times faster. And that's exciting, but we need to be grounded and stable. And that's why I suggest you take all of this and apply it into your life as I am. I am not teaching or sharing anything with you that I am not applying in my own life or have already applied in my life. It is working. I am feeling higher and higher and higher in my energy field, in my vibration than I ever have before. I am acting on my passion, sharing this with all of you, and it is the greatest, greatest blessing from the universe that I get to share my voice, my energy, my perspective with all of you, so that maybe some of you, maybe one of you gets inspired to act differently, to do what you've always wanted to do, to become who you've always wanted to become. It's time, guys. So thank you guys so much for being along on this video. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button and subscribe button for me, please. Especially at these beginning times of my channel, as I've said before, it's gonna help me so much to get the algorithm out there, to get this seen by more people so that I can really start to create this movement with you guys so that we can all share our experiences, our manifestations, our ups and downs, our challenges, our triumphs, all of it, and just our opinions and what we're all going through. That is my passion. That is why I'm here. I love you guys. I want nothing else but you to prosper and to help you to prosper, because by you prospering, you prosper the entire earth, and then you bring that collectively within the earth inside of you, and then that explodes out into the universe and it ripples out, and you change yourself and you change the earth, not the other way around. You don't wait for the change on the outside for you to change. You change yourself, and then the outside will reflect that change to you unconditionally. That is how it works. That is just physics. I love you guys so much. And stick around, because we got a lot more to come. I have a lot more to share. And these are the times. Thank you so much. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Wow. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And it's so bright on my face. All you can do is cry and then say goodbye. Enjoy your life, guys. It's not meant to be taken so seriously. Oh gosh, it's not meant to be taken so seriously. Oh, easier said than done. Go sit yourself on a boulder. It's not a boulder. It's a rock. A rock. See you next time.